Radio SD, Watertown, South Dakota. We've got some more special guests with us now. We're going to learn a little bit about some of the city of Watertown and economic development and recent announcement of $500,000 here to local infrastructure. So we've got with us City of Watertown City Manager Alan Stager. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we also have City Engineer Justin Petersen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you.
So what we're talking about is the South Dakota Governor's Office of Economic Development and Board of Economic Development approved a grant just recently. City Manager Stager, do you want to maybe touch on maybe the project a little bit itself? Like, this is going to be influential to future developments as well.
Sure. So this particular project is in the Kelvin trade area. And so your listeners can visually understand where it is. The Century building that was recently built on the South Bypass Road is the area that we're looking at. And that area has been developed by the Watertown Development Company over the last couple of years without having access to the sanitary sewer system. And that's really limited the type and number of businesses they've been able to bring into that park. I do know that they are actively engaged with several parties that are ready to start building as soon as they have confidence that they'll have access to sanitary sewer. In addition to the Kelvin Trade Center that we currently have, there is an additional at least 300 acres to the east and south of this particular property that can be served by this sanitary sewer line. The process actually predates me with the city. It's actually gone through a couple of different grant cycles. The bulk of the project is funded by a U.S. Economic Development Authority grant of just under $3 million. The total project is about a $3.7 million project. And the cost of the local share, we've decided to split 4 ways between the city, Watertown Municipal Utilities, the Watertown Development Company, and Codington County. The good news with this grant is we've applied with the state and through the Board of Economic Development received a local infrastructure grant of $500,000 that will cover quite a bit of the local share that the 4 parties had committed to. So it's really good news for the project and for Watertown.
Wow, so you have that $3 million then was originally going to be, or is still being split 4 ways, but now you've got this $500,000 to help bring that amount down.
Yeah, it's actually less than $3 million because we have the other grant from the U.S. Economic Development Authority. So this is really relieving about $700,000 of money that we needed to raise locally for the project.
Mm-hmm. And so when you were dealing with development, would you say this is a common situation where you see people come together like this to finish a project this big?
You know, I think it can become more common. This is the first time in the memory of many that we've done this in Watertown. And I think it really shows that the county is committed to economic development within the community. They have a tight budget with their projects, but they viewed this as important to fund. Watertown Municipal Utilities is an extremely important project to them. This gets the load base for them to provide electricity and gas. And of course, with the Watertown Development Company, this is what they're all about. Mm-hmm. And having this land available now will help them move forward.
Mm-hmm. And essentially, for those that aren't familiar, the Watertown Development Company is a separate entity from the city itself, but their focus is to work with businesses locally or even outside the community, but kind of see what their needs are, and then they reach out to whatever entity, the city or the municipal utilities, kind of depending on what the project is. Is that kind of how those things, the seed starts a little?
It is how it starts. And the development company has to be looking years into the future because when opportunities arise for new jobs and new people coming into the community, we can't then at that time start on the infrastructure. So the economic development projects always follow the infrastructure. And this is a great project, ensuring that we've got plenty of land available for the future expansion of Watertown.
And so where, Justin, where do you come in on a project like this where you have to roll up your sleeves and start digging around?
Once it's funded, which it is now, then we can start design and construction. So that's where my role would come in.
So you're just going to kind of start stepping in. Well, you've probably been involved, you know what's going on, but you'll start actually designing the project now?
Yep, it's currently under design. There's, we have the concept design, the preliminary design. We're expecting to bid in February, March timeframe, and then start construction next summer.
And are you seeing now a little bit with, I guess we're 4 years away from some of the COVID, but are you seeing now a little bit of balance with some of the construction estimates and products and materials?
For me, there's still a little bit of uncertainty, but last year kind of indicated that maybe there is some leveling out in bid prices, so that's refreshing.
And so as an engineer, are you the guy out there with like the tripod and it looks like a camera, or are you like on a computer doing things, or what do people do when they ask you to do stuff?
Well, we've hired a consultant for this, but what they do, they have that survey equipment. They go out there and survey initially, and then they go back to the computer, design it, put it on paper so that a contractor can come in and design it, build it. And
then you got to look all that over and say, Mr. Stager, it looks good, or maybe we want to do something here or there. Kind of double check a little bit.
We've already had those kind of iterations where we, maybe move it here, add something a little bit different. So
okay, so you're pretty well kind of ready to rock. You just have to oversee it now and make sure everything goes according to plan, if you will.
Yep.
Very good.
Things always work the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, perfect. And City Manager Alan Stager, City Engineer Justin Petersen are with us. City Manager Stager, you mentioned something in a meeting I was at. I think it was the development company's panel, but you mentioned something about we need to look into, I don't know if it's necessarily always younger folks, but whatever generation's got these ideas that aren't what we would consider the normal, or can you talk a little bit on that?
That was a long time ago, Steve, but
it stuck with me.
I think we hear this all the time, and my generation wanted to run away from apartments as soon as we could. And we often hear things about, for example, why are there so many apartments being built? Well, there's a new generation that is okay with apartment living. And that's just one example where I think we've got to tap the creative energy of the next generation in our community of leaders to really build out what we want to do for the next 30 or 40 years. And that's how we're going to grow. We're not going to grow as a retirement community. We have to grow with people that have ideas for bringing new businesses, new ideas into the community. And this Calvin Park project is the ideal type of place where somebody can come in, purchase some land, and start a business building something we have maybe have never thought of or heard of.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I know, one of the companies that's newer in Watertown, South 40 Specialties, I have a little connection because my wife's working there. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't know quite as much, but that's some of that new technology from what I see. They go to these shows and these fabricated and customized, like boards they're making and design features for garages. And I mean, they're things that I couldn't even fathom, but there's people that know all about this and they have a whole team set up already and they're ready to go. and that's who you're looking for is these ready to pounce.
That's exactly what we're looking for. And, South 40 is building in the Pheasant Ridge Industrial Park. And that's an example of the investments that the community made 25 or 30 years ago to have that park available so that when the business ideas are ready, it's there. And that's the same thing we're doing here with the Kelvin Park is we're getting ready so that when the entrepreneurs have their ideas, the community is ready for them.
And there are some businesses in the wings ready, waiting for this to get done, and we might have some special announcements after that.
It would be nice.
Yeah. Are you seeing a little more? I know this is pretty new for you too, but are you seeing a little more moving and shaking within Watertown as far as people wondering, hey, what's going on with Watertown now, and how's it going?
We are. We continue to be a growing community. We've been growing at about 1% per year the last few years, which is double what we grew for the previous 20 years. So there clearly is some activity. Mm-hmm. I think people are excited for the potential of our community.
Yeah. There seems like there's always a lot of things going on that you don't always hear about. And then you get one announcement and it's kind of all in one press release, mm-hmm. But so hopefully we can do some of these interviews over time too and kind of keep the community in knowledge on what's going on with different projects. And Justin, I want to make sure, is there anything that you want to mention before we do wrap up, or are there any frequently asked questions that you need to put a fire out or anything? It's just everything's smooth, huh?
Everything's smooth right now.
That is so perfect. I love it. Is there anything that you want to touch on before we wrap up?
We have a council meeting tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It should be our last council meeting of the year, just wrapping up some routine items at the end of the year. And then we're ready to move into a new budget cycle the 1st of January and starting out with a clean slate and a new year.
Very good. And you definitely have you gotten yourself ingrained into the position? Are you fully engulfed now?
I think so. I think so. When I'm not, Justin is real good at telling me what I don't know yet, and the rest of the team is as well, and that's real helpful. I don't have to be an expert on a lift station in the Kelvin Industrial Park, and I never will be. But just knowing that when things need to happen in our city, we've got the team that can do it. Mm-hmm. Makes my job pretty easy.
Very good. Well, that's what I kind of had mainly for questions for you guys. That's the big announcement, and I've been to quite a few meetings now over the last 4 years. So Justin, appreciate everything that you run around and do. I know you do deal with some challenging situations and probably some challenging individuals and all sorts of challenges. So just know that people appreciate what you do, and it's a public service. Even though you get paid for what you do, it's different from the private sector. You can probably attest to that a little.
It is.
So, yeah.
It is.
And so it takes some special folks to do what you guys do. So we appreciate that and look forward to some more announcements, hopefully, on the horizon. So Alan, Justin, thank you guys for coming in today. Doreen, did you have any questions? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, being on city council, like Steve said, I'm sure you deal with different individuals, and sometimes you're about ready to throw in the towel. Been there, done that. What is your favorite part of being on the council?
Well, I'm not on the council. I support the council, but really the favorite part is looking at the breadth of things that we do within the city government. For a city of our size to have a zoo, an airport with 2 commercial carriers, a full range of park and rec activities, a wellness center, an ice arena. There's just a tremendous diversity and breadth of things that I get to deal with every day. And that's the rewarding part is taking care of those amenities for the community.
In my correction, city manager. Now, Justin, your favorite part of helping out the community and being involved? I
really like seeing the growth of the community and kind of being a part of that. So this Kelvin Industrials is one of them, part of the ice arena project, part of the airport terminal project. And, being able to drive the streets and say, oh, this is a brand new street. I remember what this looked like beforehand. So that's the enjoyable part to me.
All the outcome of the different things that you've helped with, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that makes you hang around a little bit, right?
I do enjoy my job.
Yeah. And you as well?
I do.
Okay. I was just checking. I like my job too, Steve, by the way.
Good. That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
It's always a lot of fun, and I get to meet new people, and we appreciate you coming on in and talking with Steve. Steve's the guy that he knows all the city business and all that stuff that's going on, and we appreciate that too, him covering that as well.
Well, you're welcome.
And you're going to cover the city council meeting.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You wrap it
All
up. Tell us what song's on next.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming in, Ellen Steger and our engineer, Justin Petersen. Thanks for being here with us on Northeast Radio SD.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell us what beautiful song was next. Well, thanks, guys. How'd that go?